Hey everybody, Jimmy with the Triple C Collective, and
Collin here.
we are ready to bring you Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 14, Tipping Point.
Yes.
And, dude, it was so good.
It was great. It was cool.
It was...
We got everyone in this episode.
We really
got
did.
The whole Bad Batch.
The whole gang was
Literally
was really here. And
they're not together, but we got them all in this episode.
Absolutely. And it was just awesome. It opens with with actually the clone troopers being shipped off. Like they're in handcuffs and stuff, and they are getting loaded onto a ship, and the ship's leaving. Like that's basically
we know what that usually means. People getting on ships where they don't know where they're going. They're getting relocated, decommissioned. It seems as if there's experiments being run on these ex-clone troopers who have been decommissioned.
I mean, even decommissioned, like, dude, they could just be straight up, like, I don't know, just killing them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, aside
but
from
like
just,
we saw that in that episode, the guy who tried to it was the assassin in the one episode. He seemed like they were reusing, they're repurposing clones or something.
And
anyway,
it's wild. But the ship is attacked by our old buddies, Rex and Echo.
Oh
and
man, I was like, yeah,
they're back, baby. Yeah. We're back, baby.
You have to expect AC/DC to start playing.
Yeah. Great call. Oh my god. Oh man, that would be wild.
Yeah.
We get an AC/DC and you don't drop it in Star Wars and let it be Bad Batch.
But it would totally make sense. I wouldn't even be thinking out of it.
Not even a little bit, dude.
But yeah, they show up and it was awesome. You know, they got their blasters on stun. They still care about the clones.
Yeah.
You could totally tell they're trying to protect as many clones as they can.
Yeah. Because like in the end it's their brothers, it's their brethren,
Yeah.
you know, like they don't necessarily want to kill them, and the idea that they may not have been brought to the point of where they are, you know, yet where Rex and Echo and like the rest of
the idea is already out there that the chips are wearing like the that is worn off. The chip, the main Order 66 has. Okay, now there's less Jedi. Now there's now we're just following the Empire blindly, and that's kind of hard when we're doing all this stuff we don't really agree with.
Yeah, well,
and that's happening across the board more or less. And even the Emperor clearly sees this because he wants to bring in a new type of stormtrooper.
Absolutely, but
so.
Rex and Echo, they attack the ship, they dock with it, they launch a docking pod, and then they dock with this Imperial ship, and the clones enter, man. They steal they steal some data as the Imperials are trying to like destroy all of their data banks and stuff, and like it's wild.
Yeah.
Like it's wild. We get who's ever commanding the ship, we don't really get his name too much. He's just like, go do this, don't let them in and stuff. And like then once they break in, he's silent. Like he's silent, doing nothing as the databanks are like slowly being erased / being recovered by Echo at this point, which is awesome. But the commander has like the electrified suicide pill, for lack of a better word.
Yep.
And like just bites down on it and like like jolts himself and like is just like done. The Imperial reinforcements show up, like some TIE fighters and stuff, as they're still as Echo and Rex, and then they're saving the 3 clones that were left on there.
Correct.
But,
right.
And which is wild. Like that whole thing of like getting them out and everything like this.
They're building a rebellion of clones. Yeah. Basically, that's why I said like they're trying to stun these guys, like to show them like, yo, there's another answer out there. Like,
there's another way and stuff. But they get back onto their ship and they jump into their hyperspace and like they're all out of there. And then we jump over to Tatnus, planet Tatnus.
Yeah, we're back to Mount Tantus and that stuff where the clone experiments are all happening, and that big beast from what was it, from Zepho?
Yeah.
From Zepho is in there. Like they're doing some weird experiments at this place.
Yeah.
But we immediately see Crosshair.
Yeah, we get Crosshair.
They're trying to interrogate him, but he's got abilities to. He's been trained for this. He's not going to be tortured and give up the answers like some normal clone trooper. He's built for this.
He really is.
So they're about to
Like Emery is like getting ready to run his test, or is still kind of running tests on him.
Hemlock comes in, who we both hate.
Yeah, he's a terrible person.
Yeah.
And he's like, I won't.
I love his character, but I hate him.
Yeah. Well, you gotta love to hate him, right? Right. He's one of those characters. Mm-hmm. But he's like, this isn't a punishment for like shooting your commanding officer or anything. And instead, this is actually the path to a clean slate for you. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, hey, Snake.
Yeah, exactly. He's just like, we're still gonna use you. We're still gonna use you, is what I got out of that.
Yeah.
And that's when he's basically like turn up the torch.
Yeah.
Turn up the torture, and they're getting ready to do that.
Because like Hemlock's like, how do we find Clone Force 99? How do we get to the girl? And like Crosshair's just like, they're not gonna do it, and I don't know where they are.
Right.
I've been with you guys since I left.
He assumes it's for Omega right away. Like, what do you want? Oh, the girl. Like, oh, okay. Nah, this is nah. I think that's when he's like, that's his like, no. Yeah. I'm not doing it. Like, because whatever she is, why ever she is important is not good.
Yeah.
For if you guys get your hands on her.
Well, and it's like it took Crosshairs basically the long way round to get to where like Hunter and everybody else was.
Yeah.
Like, and like the true final breaking point was that like in the end, like Crosshairs always felt like good clone troopers follow orders.
Right.
Like, he talked about it, like that's why he went back and all of that stuff. But like when he legitimately saw the Empire and Lieutenant Nolan not give help to Mayday there out at the outpost,
exactly,
like that's where he like it snapped.
Yep.
The switch was flipped for him in all conceivable ways here. Yeah. And he's just like, to pull Arrested Development, I have made a big mistake.
Yeah, that was his like I was saying, every one of them now is they're supposed to follow orders, but after a while when the big order of killing Jedi's done, and that's their programming, the programming on the other part wears off. So you're right. So it's when he saw that and he killed the captain on that mission, it was game on. Yeah. But what I mean about that though is like I feel like he might not have been so hesitant to sell at the Bad Batch if it wasn't for what he knows. Yeah, they'll do to Omega specifically, and like not that I think he doesn't care, but he's just like shown that he's kind of.
Well, I mean, I think he, despite the like trap or whatever, and like all the like betrayal that he's done previously here, really to them, there's still a certain point of where he's like, I don't think I want to like have a kid killed, basically.
He ain't a snitch. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to, I think. Like, he's just like, I'm not going to rat on him. No. Like,
yeah, that's true, that's man. Like, he's not a snitch.
I might be a murderer, but come
on. So, all of that is just awesome. But then we get a cut to Coruscant. Mm-hmm. We're back.
Which is pretty cool to see after the last Mandalorian episode, I'm not going to lie. Like, this is kind of like a different time, but like,
yeah,
it like, looks pretty similar.
Mandalorian is like virtually 30 years after
I
this.
almost think I love that it looks almost similar because it shows how it's not that different. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The places, they just like call it something else.
Yeah.
Well, the same things are happening. Anyway.
It's kind of wild. Yeah. But we're there with the clone troopers and they're in their hideout. We get the senator that we saw earlier this season there who's helping them out and everything. And, they're like, well, God, only 3 of you made it. Like, how many of there were you? We started with 8, only 3 of us got there, like, well, what happened? Like, why did they start doing this? It's basically why the senator has no idea that any of this is going on, so she needs all the information that she can get from these clones here. And they're like, you know, people were questioning orders, you know, dissonance and stuff, and like then they get shipped off. They're not seen, you know, like they never come back. Then we find out that Echo got his partial data recovery.
Right.
You know, like that they were erasing all the data banks, but he got a partial. It's heavily encrypted, but Echo knows one person and one person only to do it. And we all know who that person is. It's Tech. But before we even go there, we go back to Technus in the lab. We get Emery again, still running tests on Crosshair. Like Crosshair's still laying on his on the table with everything around him in the.
And to be fair to Emery, she does seem a little like she doesn't want to do this. She has to do this. This is her job, right? Like this is like this is what she signed up for, I guess.
Well, the whole
something seems off about her compared to everyone else around her.
I agree.
And off it could be like a good thing for us in general, but like something we'll get into it. But yeah, this is the point where we need his restraints aren't gonna hold him down.
No. And they're running tests. She undoes.
Yeah, that's kind of like what
she undoes his restraints and stops the testing on him. And like one of the stormtroopers is like, "What are you doing? We're supposed to do this until he talks." And she's like, "Well, if we kill him beforehand, he's not going to talk at all, and then we're all in trouble." And the stormtrooper just kind of shuts up because he's like, "All right, you got a point here, lady."
Above my pay grade.
Yeah, above my pay grade now. And but you know, go ahead and put his restraints back on. And of course, Crosshair steals the gun.
Yeah.
Shoots the two troopers.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. And then Dr. Emery is kind of talking him down, being like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Like,
you're not going to get out."
Yeah, you're not going to get out. There is no escape. And very quickly, we got to point out here, Crosshair switches from, like, shoot to kill, basically, to stun, and stuns her.
And we can't believe that's not going to come back to at least help him or something in the later episodes.
Right. Because, to be fair...
Because she was already being nice, and she let him out of the restraints, which I was like, something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like she's a bigger character than they're letting on right now. And, anyway, he gets out. Crosshair gets out. He's running through the facility now. He's taking out other clone troopers, other troopers that are working down there, and then he gets to this point.
He gets to like a transmission booth or like a transmission terminal because they call him Terminal 3 or whatever, and he puts out a Seeker 88 or something.
Plan 88.
Plan 88.
Yeah.
Distress signal.
Mm-hmm. So they're Clone Force 99. There's Order 66. Now this is Plan 88.
Yeah.
We got Plan 88 out there, and we don't necessarily know what it is, but it's definitely a distress signal, and we're assuming it's for the Bad Batch.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's got to be about something. And then we get this like weird green gas. It's kind of something very reminiscent of like Joker gas or whatever that you would see.
Yeah, yellow, green. Definitely.
And then Hemlock walks in and he's like, "Yeah, breathe in deep."
He's breathing it in too. He doesn't care. He gained immunity to it, and he's Crosshair is kind of fighting it off a little better than I'd expect other people to probably.
Probably. I mean, I would agree with that. He's part of the Bad Batch.
Right.
You know. Then we cut to Pabu.
And then it's happy right here. I'm like, oh, that was crazy.
Literally everything changes. Yeah. Like all the coloring, everything goes from like this like really dark.
We're back on that beautiful island. It's not a storm anymore.
It's like paradise, basically.
They're rebuilding. It's going well. And then you get one of my favorite scenes, which is Omega and Tech flying.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. It's one of my favorites because she's having a great time, and it's just, again, those little moments of her just being happy is just so what they're fighting for. Like, and now I'm in. You know what I mean? I'm in on the fight. I'm in on that fight. You know what I mean? I'm totally down.
Yeah.
Let's not only keep her safe, but let's let her live the life she deserves to live.
Yeah, because
She shouldn't have to do anything just because you're a Jedi or like some chosen person or like whatever. It's like, can't you just be a child too?
Yeah.
And I think that's a very important part of the show.
And like that's part of that's what they've literally been debating with themselves for the last like 2 episodes here.
Yeah.
It's like, do we do this? Yes, let's stay in at least after, especially after the storm. They were like, well, we're helping hands. We can at least help you guys rebuild and stuff. Like it's the least like we can do. We can
and they're doing well at that. It's fun.
But
fun to see.
But they did get the communication from Echo, and like Hunter and Mayor Shep are talking about that, and Shep's like, "Are you sure I can't convince you guys to stay here permanently?"
Right.
And he's like, we're soldiers. Wrecker's throwing up big old sharks up there for like meals and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the best things in the world is when the 3 people though yell up to Wrecker, "Hey Wrecker, we need your hand to like reinforce the sea wall here," and he's like, "You got it, boss." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's
he would
so
fit right
awesome."
in. Yeah, he'd fit right into this community. He's got this.
Well, they all do in their own like ways, but yeah. And then during that, we obviously get the amazing scene of like Tech and Omega flying.
Yeah.
And like, I just love it. Well, the Tech and Omega thing. How does it end?
What do you mean?
With the arrival of Echo.
Oh yes, yeah. I thought you meant when they almost crashed and when she doesn't want to pull up.
Oh yeah. That's also really
but
good.
But yeah, then so we get at the end of that they land and Echo shows up and it's sweet because you get to see Hunter and him talking, but then Omega comes up like, "I missed you." He's like, "It hasn't even been that long." She's like, "It felt like it though,
Yeah.
Kid days are different."
Yeah.
And that's awesome to see. That's so cool to see.
Yeah.
But we're back on. We're about to be doing something here.
Yeah, we got something important to do, and Echo's like, got some data that's encrypted. I need you to decrypt it, man. I need you to get in there. We need to figure out where they were transporting these clone troopers, where they were going, why they were going there, and like we just need help. It's wild. What about the little Tarkin Hemlock?
Yeah, Hemlock and Tarkin's basically figuring out what's going on. It's more of a look, yeah.
Dude, Hemlock's like cavalierness here of just being like, while the attack is unfortunate, it is inconsequential.
He knows how to talk to Tarkin.
Yeah, and Tarkin's like, well, what about the your location being compromised? And we got protocols in place. What is concerned is how it was targeted.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then Tarkin's like leak from rogue clones on the inside, and they're like growing number of questions and Hemlock's like, decommissions won't work for you. Like
exactly.
I keep telling you,
this is the point. Like they keep going rogue. They're not staying in line like they were because they're not agreeing with the missions that are going on anymore. Yeah. So Hemlock's just convincing Tarkin that we just have to readjust them.
Yeah,
gotta do
send them to me.
Chiropractor.
Send them to me, and I'll take care of them. And then Tarkin's like, "All right, at the summit, give me a debrief of your plan, of your grand scheme here."
Yeah, Hemlock really knows how to talk.
What you want to.
I was impressed.
Yeah, right.
Because not a lot of people get through to Tarkin.
Yeah. We go back to Pabu, where they're Hunter and Echo are talking. They're talking about where to stay, what you're gonna do next, and Echo's like, "Are you guys really gonna stay here?" And Hunter's like, "They still need our help, yes. I don't know." He's really torn because he told Shep, Mayor Shep earlier that troopers putting down roots usually is the way to bring trouble for them.
Exactly.
And they are wanted by the Empire, and it would bring truly unwanted attention to Pabu.
Agreed.
With them being there. So it is a tough decision because as much as Hunter believes in being there for being there, that is truly a livable place that they could be. They could do good there, have a life.
But how long will that last before the Empire comes and not only destroys them but destroys the entire civilization that they're trying to protect too.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're weighing their options and everything. Echo though explains about the new network of clones that they're building, and
Exactly.
and a little bit about how the rebellion is building here.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's really great. He's like, some of them are hidden, some of them are underground. We even have some contacts with inside the Empire, which I think is Emery. I think I think that because she is acting weird, she never was truly like awful to Crosshair, and she did release those restraints for something, and in the end, Crosshair did not kill her.
Right.
She made that bet that Crosshair would not kill her. Being stunned was probably a possibility in that situation for her.
Of course.
But I think that was a calculated risk she was willing to take.
For sure.
In that, knowing that.
I could see that for sure.
In the end, that
I could also see that just being a broad statement of just like we have contacts and we'll see a few of them pop up maybe. But that would be cool.
It would be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're trying to defeat the Empire. That's what they're trying to do. It's about finding their brothers and fighting for their brothers. Tech finishes the decryption of the data, and they find out that the ship was assigned to the Advanced Data Division or Advanced Science Division, and it's a clandestine operation. Like it's a ghost thing. There's no real information or anything on it. Mm-hmm. And the last thing that they find out, one of the last things. Find out that Hemlock was expelled from the Republic due to his experiments.
Extreme experiments. Yeah. Like they were way too extreme for the Republic.
One of the clones that they find listed is Crosshair. That is with with Hemlock, and it seems that Crosshair is turned on the Empire, and they're like, and Hunter's like, "Are you sure?"
It seems like a trap.
It smells like a trap.
It's a trap.
like he's done this before to us. And then they get the message that he sent out. Plan 88, the Seeker.
And that's when it's kind of like, is it a trap?
Is it a trap? Do we believe this? Do we believe this guy, again?
But either way, what else do we do?
Yeah.
We got to go check it out either way.
We got to go check it out.
The missions are kind of coinciding here.
Yeah, right?
Both things are happening. They're kind of going towards this Mount Tantus, being what they're...
Yeah.
Everyone's going towards.
And we go to the lab one more time.
Yep.
And, Emery and Hemlock come in, and Hemlock's just spewing, being like, you can't leave unless I allow it.
Mm-hmm.
Reconsider my offer because that's
still
the
being
only
a polite...
reconsider my offer. That's the only way you're, gonna get out of here and stuff. I just need we just need the young clone.
Super crazy.
She means nothing to you.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing this?
What are you going
on? What's going on? And Crosshair's like, I'm not telling you anything.
Mm-hmm.
Hemlock's like, increase the level.
Okay.
And he's like, and right up in Crosshair's face is like, how long will it be until I break you?
Yeah, exactly.
The torture begins. We get this lingering shot on Emery, and I put a note here because we get this lingering shot on Emery, and then the episode ends. And what I was talking about before, which also leads to my final comment that I even put in our notes here, is she might let Crosshair go.
Right.
And maybe she's not an informant. You're right. Maybe that's me reading. Reading too much into the things of the contacts and stuff. But I definitely think that she is no longer necessarily working in tandem with the Empire, and I think she's picking and choosing things to execute because at this point we have 2 more episodes left.
Right.
And it's super exciting because we get both of them on Wednesday of next week. On Wednesday we got a big week. We got 2 episodes. The last 2 episodes of Bad Batch, and then we get the first episode of the second half of The Mandalorian, episode 5 there. So I'm super excited for it. I don't know, man. I really love this episode.
Yeah, it was great. It was cool. It just got us into it just catapulted us into the next couple episodes and what we're going to be doing and where we're going to be spending our time, and I love it.
I'm super stoked. So I'm Jimmy with the Triple C Collective.
I'm Collin.
And we want to thank you all for joining us. We please like and subscribe to our channel. We hope you all stay safe. And as always, may the Force be with you.